leading in the fourth quarter against Ohio State, down by just 3 going into the final frame against Denver. But they're not satisfied. They're hoping for a win today.
Syracuse comes into this game at 2-1 overall, the number 6 team in the country. And as we mentioned, Utah 0-2 with losses to Denver. A loss last time out to Denver and a season-opening loss in Columbus against Ohio State. Mason Kohn to take the opening face-off for Syracuse. Tyler Kloeckl for Utah. And it's Kohn who wins the first battle. We're underway. Hope you're enjoying your lunch break here on ACC Network Extra. Syracuse starts up on offense. The 6th best scoring offense in the country. 17 goals per game through 3 contests so far. The name we talked about early on, the 2-time All-ASUN first teamer. He was the Offensive Player of the Year in the conference 2 years ago. Kohn wins his second face-off. He wants to do it himself. Instead, passes off to Mullen, and Syracuse.
Mason Kohn win both face-offs early. I think if Syracuse can dominate possession, they'll put themselves in a good spot to win this game.
Mason Kohn 3 for 3 now. That was a rather clean win as well. Oh, I beg your pardon. That's John Mullen, the backup face-off specialist, who hustles off the field. So Kohn is 2 for 2. And John Mullen 1 for 1 to start this game.
Yeah, Mullen's the backup, but his stats wouldn't show that. He has been a stud so far this year. Dodgers, players who understand that to create space, you need to lose that space at first and then bounce off of it.
A hold on Utah, so Syracuse is back on offense once again. What they're showing here, Adam, is just when they get those opportunities in those clear shooting lanes, they're going to shoot.
This is one of the best offenses in the country last season. Dealing with that, Syracuse belongs in that picture.
And it wasn't just the loss. You know, Micah Leo scored that goal in overtime, gets waved off for a crease violation. Maryland goes down and scores the very next possession. So the Orange were right there. They had Maryland and the opportunity to win right here inside the dome. Instead, our first loss of the season for Syracuse. Now 3-1 on the timeout, 1 assist. But he has continued his streak of at least 1 point in every game that he's played in college. That streak is now north of 30 games.
Joe, Utah's going with 3 pulls on the face-off right now. After losing so many at the start, they had to change something.
DePonio almost scoops it up for Utah. Still ping-ponging around all the way to Nick Kakema. The Orange control, not after it's swatted out of his stick. So now Utah will control, and they step on the gas. Stein's Tom's first rodeo. Mason Kohn's been a revelation so far this season for Syracuse. Gets tripped down to the ground. Syracuse wants a call, and they don't get it. Kohn just couldn't keep the ball on his stick. So Utah heads back on offense. Coming on the field right now for Syracuse, Nathan Levon games last season. And as a freshman, he scored over 2 goals a game. That was the 5th best by a freshman in the country. Mason Kohn wins that face-off. Passes to Spallina close to the restraining line. No struggle there for Mason Kohn as the Orange are back on offense. Ryan Stein's 5th goal of the season. The trail 5-3 as we get closer and closer to the end of this first quarter. Leo cuts to the middle. Looked like he lost the ball there, didn't he? One-handed feed goes above, hilts his stick. Will it roll out? Yes. Another right shin.
That's brutal. It hurts, too.
Yeah, that would probably leave a huge egg tomorrow morning. Well, given the time of the game, probably a huge egg tonight. Gary Gates' offense known for its unique, crafty style. The hidden ball trick doubles up Syracuse's lead.
Yeah, and with some of the issues that the Orange have had on.
Move up a little bit they're trying to figure out ways to get the possession back.
And I think with some of the turnovers that Syracuse has had already, that's why we're seeing even more aggression.
Kohn wins the faceoff. We focus on the controllables, but it is cool to be able to play in this historic venue. And he said it's all part of the experience. So Utah in 2019 getting the bump up to Division I. Now 6 years later, getting to play in the JMA Wireless Dome against the #6 team in the country. That just shows you the fast growth that the Utes have had. We start the second quarter with a quick shot. Whistle sound as the ball goes to the back of the net. They call a hold. So the Utes here at this Faceoff X go with a long stick. And it doesn't work.
And Mullen again against the long stick. I think Gary Gate really likes that matchup with John Mullen's strength to put him against the LSM. The guy, easy goal.
Joey Spallina, he had 10 points against Manhattan. That no one has scored 10 points in a single game for SU since 2000. Former #1 recruit in the land, really living up to all the hype. For the first time, we've got quite a face-off battle here. And Utah wins it. Mason Kohn loses to Tyler Kloeckl. Utah had some long defensemen, created that short little shooting space for Leo to score.
It's almost a bit of a screen also in front of the goalie. Lenskell didn't have a great look at it, so he has that late reaction time, and it makes it even harder to save.
The officials listen to the screams from Syracuse's bench there. A trip, and Syracuse is back on. Starting to get a little hungry up here. It is 1:14 Eastern. But I bet our friends out in Utah right now are just getting their coffee, getting their pancakes ready to go, and hoping that their team can cut into the 7-goal deficit.
Yeah, it's all going to start at this face-off X. The Orange have dominated, to say the least, winning 13 of 15.
There you go. There you go.
Mason Kohn looking for another win. The ball swatted out of his stick as it rolls towards Syracuse's defensive zone. Mason Cohn's got it and somehow gets through 5 Utes. Oh, that was incredible. How did Mason Kohn get through all those?
It's what makes him so special, the fact that he's not just going to win the initial clamp, but after that, he's then going to do damage. Looks like he took a late hit there on the arm. He's feeling it, and Gary Gate is almost halfway on the field.
If you ask him, you know, what the best part of his game is, he'll say he's a pass-first guy. He loves dishing the ball out. But Joey Spallina leads Syracuse in goals this season with 13. Syracuse dominating in this game mostly because of the face-off battle. The Orange have won 14 of the 17 face-offs. Johnny Mullen, one of those guys for Syracuse. He's taken 4 of them, and he's won 3 early on. The starter Mason Kohn, 11 of 13. But look at John Mullen pregame. This was him during warm-ups. Granted, this is around like 10:30 in the morning. John Mullen laying down on the turf here in the Dome, going through visualizations. So much so that his teammates, they had to play catch. That's Will Mark on the near sideline playing catch right over his body, laying on the football 45-yard line. Hey, whatever gets it done.
Absolutely. I mean, lacrosse is such a mental game. I don't think people talk about that enough. How much of just like a mind battle the sport is sometimes, and so many guys rely on that visualization.
Reminds me of hockey goalies before a game. You know, Ryan Miller, the old Buffalo Sabres goalie, he would sit on the bench with his stick and just stare at the ice for about 20.
Faces of all the coaches as well. That's just awesome to see.
There you go, Ty. Yeah, Ty.
We talked about this earlier. Jake Spallina, he made some solid plays on Syracuse's ride, and it turns into points. How about turning into points? Oh, Matt Wright almost found the back of it.
That we have these games this early in the season, so many awesome ones, and it's still just the middle of February.
This game not too shabby either, with the reigning A-Sun champions going up against the #6 team in the goals. He's the only player in Utes history to have 100 or more goals. Back at the face-off X, a contentious spot so far in this 4th quarter. Mason Kohn wins it, races into the zone. Spallina rips it into the back. SU answers. answers right away with a face-off win and a goal.
Of course, this all starts off with the face-off win and how Mason Kohn has just been so dynamic in everything that he's done this year. The almost no-look pass the entire time. It looks like he's going to get the shot off, then gives it to Spallina. And for Joey there to mix up the angle on that shot, that's been the issue with the Syracuse offense the entire game, telegraphing them all the time. But now Joey Spallina realizes he's got to change it, so it goes high to low, and that's what works.
Mason Kohn picks up his 5th assist of the season. Flag flies on the face-off. It's going against Syracuse.
Kohn had just 3 assists in his 2 years at Tufts.
With his first year at Syracuse, when he got beat, it was because teams were shooting low to high on him or mixing up their shot selections. And Utah's done a solid job of that today. Even though Will Marks had a sensational day, stopping 68% of his shots, when Utah has found DePonio has been an interesting one today. The long stick that has gone up against Spallina, but he's hardly had to move because Spallina stands flat-footed below the cage. Johnny Mullen's shot misses high. He was going through those visualizations before the game today. Nate, the best name in college lacrosse, don't you think?
It's got to be
good
up
ones
there.
out there.
It's got to be up there.
Will Mark today, 14 saves on 20 shots, a 70% save percentage. He came into today stopping 53% of the shots he's seen. Solid day for the NCAA's active all-time saves leader. Let's see if the Utes can solve Jimmy McCool. So McCool gives up his first goal of the season. He's seen 6 shots early on. Mason Kohn wins the face-off. Races into the zone. He wants more than a face-off win. He wants a goal! The 4th of the year for Syracuse's face-off specialist. And SU answers right back. Look at this. Face-off at 47. The ball goes in the back of the net at 39.
I don't know how he does it. Mason Kohn is 1 point away from his total last season. He had 10 points last year, 11 in his career at Tufts in 2 seasons. And he has 9 points already this year. It's unbelievable how much he has improved while moving a step up to the Division I level. He's got the size to be a D1 athlete, and that's what Gary Gates says. There was never any doubt that his skill would translate because he has that size, and his reaction time is just that good. He wins the initial clamp almost every single time when he's playing a team like Utah. And Utah's got some good Fogos. They've been a little bit unlucky playing 3 of the best enough because no one was expecting it.
Second team All-Patriot Leaguer last year with Lehigh. And in the season last year, he had 14 multi-point games. Christian Mullen right now with 2 goals and 2 assists today. Mullen has the ball right now, getting hounded by 2 long sticks. He finds Burt Whistle. Whistle's